Hello class, my name is Jake McCardle. I produced and authored and will be narrating today's presentation on standpoint theory. Have you ever wondered how perceptions shape our views? Ms. Payton articulates this quite well. She says, it's all about perspective. It's how you look at things, how our thoughts and outlook define whether an experience, event, situation, whatever, is good or bad. And your definition determines your response. Let's look at how these perceptions and perspectives pertain to standpoint theory. The theory hypothesizes that people's social economic position within society's hierarchical structure gives them a unique perspective on social issues because of their vantage point. These different angles and vantage points only give a partial picture of understanding within society as a whole. However, the individuals near the bottom rungs in the lower tiers of society tend to see social situations better, with more clarity, and create a complete picture than those who are affluent and at the top. At its core, the standpoint theory helps create awareness of marginalized individuals and groups' perspectives and perceptions within society, hopefully combating oppression and paving the way for equity and inclusion. Merriam-Webster's Collegial Dictionary defines standpoint as a position for which objects or principles are viewed and according to which they are compared and judged. The standpoint theory is a postmodernistic approach on people's perception. It states how the day-to-day experiences alters or influences a person's opinion and viewpoints. Generally, standpoints arise when people recognizes the value of power, which splinters groups within society. The theory focuses on minority perceptions and viewpoints. Sandra Harding and Nancy Hartsock are architects of the standpoint theory. It emerged from early feminist theory, which studied the socioeconomic status of women in society, but now has been applied to all oppressed minorities. This theory analyzes the perceptions and perspectives of these marginalized individuals and groups to create a more complete picture of the world. I have lived many places over the past 12 years and have been exposed to several cultures while living abroad. These exposures include Middle Eastern, Central, Southern, and Eastern European, Far East Asian, and currently the Pacific Islander cultures. I am a white male with multicultural children. I am in a technical career field with 3 other co-workers, all of whom are African American of varying ages. My unique situation gives me a perspective unlike many others, to include my own family back home. My perspective is that America has become a more progressive society. We have legalized recreational marijuana, gay marriage, physician-assisted suicide, and I see our country increasingly more inclusive. We have had an African American president, and we've just recently elected for the first time 2 Native American women to the House of Representatives. And not to mention, my newly elected governor of Colorado is an openly gay male. Progress has been made. Applying the standpoint theory to the workplace is very important. Understanding how your coworkers feel towards topics and subjects can help navigate situations and lift the veil of ignorance. My coworkers and I constantly have discussions on current events about our country and situations occurring around the world. Some of these discussions can be quite controversial though, and our viewpoints vary widely. Sometimes they're very narrow in range to extremely far points of views. The topics that we have discussed have included the National Security Agency Surveillance Program and the Patriot Act, the legalization of recreational marijuana, whether or not a felon should have the right to vote, how to manage gun rights and regulations, the Stand Your Ground law in Florida, particularly the George Zimmerman Trayvon Martin case, Black Lives Matter movement, and Colin Kaepernick's kneeling during the national anthem to protest against social injustice, especially the deaths of African Americans at the hands of the police. All of these subjects bring strong feelings and emotions and personal convictions from individuals in the workplace and society at large. Understanding the oppression and marginalization of your coworkers within society will help you grasp why they perceive and have perceptions of issues in the way that they do. This should help raise awareness to reduce stereotyping and prejudices that you may have had from past experiences yourself. Using politically correct language and professional behavior helps mitigate workplace stress. Recognizing potential conflicts and de-escalating the situation will help create a less hostile work environment. One should play devil's advocate, so it will challenge perceptions to give additional ways to view subjects and topics. In the movie Thank You for Smoking, the lead character was a lobbyist for the tobacco industry. We all know that smoking tobacco is very harmful. But one of his scenes made an enduring impression on me. He basically said that his job was not to prove his position right, but to change the narrative and disprove his opponent's position. I have used this approach when dealing with individuals who have one-sided beliefs or contradictory views. I hope to dissolve the barriers of opposition by expanding their knowledge and creating an additional perception plane, adding dimensional depth to a topic or subject at hand. My conclusion is that the standpoint theory seems to work best in small groups when personal relationships can be formed. From early on, I was taught America is a melting pot, but observing today's political environment, and after watching Spike Lee's BlacKkKlansman, I realize how little progress has actually been made. American divisiveness remains high, and we have a long way to go to improving our race relationships. Open lines of dialogue, the condemnation of these radical groups, and the continued integration of minorities into all facets of society will help mitigate the marginalized individuals and groups, helping to bring equity and inclusion to all. The following references were used to create this presentation. Thank you for your time.